In this video, we are going to be reviewing my 2016 Ram 1500 with the EcoDiesel 3-liter V6 diesel engine. So this is going to be a 30,000 mile review in and around with a brand new engine. I purchased this truck. It had some issues, but I've been enjoying it for pretty much the last 30,000 miles, and a lot of that has been towing very heavy with a trailer across America. So here is when we had low oil pressure. You'll see it has like about 117,000 miles on it. It kept flashing that it had low oil pressure, and after doing more diagnostics, even checking with a mechanical gauge, you can see there it's only got like 8 psi of mechanical oil pressure, and taking out the oil filter, you can see we had metal shavings in the oil. So here's us pulling the engine, and we ended up replacing it with a brand new 0-mile Mopar engine from the factory, and you can hear it running here. So right here you can see Mopar parts. They put this little green sticker on the front. That's supposed to be for your warranty. That's a whole other video that I would want to make, because we had some issues with trying to warranty a oil leak on this brand new engine. But besides that, she's still running pretty much 30,000 miles on it now, and still running great with no issues, knock on wood. Also, if you guys are familiar with this whole EcoDiesel thing and the settlement, it has the 2 repairs on it. You'll see these stickers on the underside of any hood of an EcoDiesel that says that the approved emissions modifications has been completed, which it has been on this vehicle. So next up, I'm sure most of the reasons that people purchase one of these EcoDiesels is for fuel efficiency. So right here, I'm just cruising along. I kind of just wanted to show you guys a little bit of driving. I'm gonna set the cruise at a few different speeds here, just so you can kind of get an idea. I usually average on this truck around 25, 26 miles per gallon without trying to think about things too much. And as far as DEF fluid, seems to be a big question as well. Every 5,000 miles, I seem to go through about 1 jug, and a lot of that's towing. So I'm really not mad about the DEF consumption. It's not that bad at all. All right, right here, I set the cruise. You can see in the bottom right side, I set it to 45 miles per hour. I don't know who would ever be going on a long trip doing 45 miles per hour, but I just want to give you guys a few different references, because it really changes the fuel economy on this thing. This truck has 355 gears, but you can see if for some crazy reason you wanted to try to maintain 45 miles per hour on some long trip, you could net yourself some pretty insane fuel mileage. These roads are pretty flat as well, so obviously if you're going up a hill, it's gonna drop significantly from where it's at, and if you're going down a hill, you're gonna be exceeding this number. But this seemed like pretty flat road, and wanted to stay around 40 miles per gallon, which, like I said, is pretty decent. Here's another test for you guys. This time I set the cruise at 50 miles per hour, so you can see here it definitely continues to drop as the speed increases. But even here, it was doing half decent. It looks like pretty flat road to me. We're about to go up a hill in just a second, but you know, 35, 36 miles per gallon if you're gonna try to maintain 50, which is a little bit more realistic, but still it's a little on the slow side. So here's a more realistic speed. We got 65 miles per hour. I did actually, on some back roads for a while, there was a section where I did about 55, and it seemed to want to sit around 27, 28 miles per gallon, you know, maintaining 55. But here's an example for you guys: 65 mile per hour set on cruise, and it's showing about 36. Again, it looks like pretty flat road to me, but I'll try to give you guys, you know, as fair of a comparison as possible here. And the actual calculated miles per gallon, this is probably a little bit optimistic. I'd say it probably calculates by hand, maybe a mile per gallon less than this. But either way, it's still doing phenomenal as far as fuel mileage. So you can see here, still flat road. We're gonna push on the cruise button up to 70 miles per hour. So you can see there, we increased the speed to 70 miles per hour, which is the speed on these freeways down here. And you can see here it's sitting around 26, 27, 28. Honestly, I think when I'm around 70 miles an hour, a little more realistic is about 26, 27 miles per gallon. Right here, it seemed to want to impress everybody, but I promise you it's probably more close to the 26, 27 miles per gallon range, clipping along at 70 miles an hour. Even though you can see here, it wants to try to impress us with its 31 miles per gallon on this flat section of road right here. All right, and here is, like I was saying, this seems a little bit more realistic, 27 miles per gallon. This is usually where it likes to sit when I'm cruising around that speed. You can see here, pretty flat, and then we're gonna go up this little slight incline over here for this overpass. And you can see it's gonna drop. You know, obviously that's a given, but it's being a little bit more true here on this section of road. So as we crest up the top, you're probably gonna see it start to increase, and then going down this slight hill, like I was mentioning earlier, you're gonna see this thing, you know, really get a lot more miles per gallon. But either way, I mean, it's kind of splitting hairs. A full-size truck, I think the fuel mileage is phenomenal on this thing, and I really can't complain for what it is. You can see I'm averaging 25.5 on that. And even on this tank here, you can see that I have 390 miles on it and still 267 miles to go on this small tank. And this isn't really an EcoDiesel problem, but more a 1500 Ram problem. My CVs have quite a bit of play in it, so you can hear there. Probably gonna have to attend to this fairly soon and put some new ones on here as well. So right here, we got my 24-foot enclosed steel framed trailer. It weighs about 3,300 pounds empty, and then probably got another 5,000 pounds in there. So about 8,000 pounds loaded up behind this EcoDiesel, and I'll show you guys the towing.
And we are just fueling up and we're headed to North Carolina. So it's about almost 7 hours. We're still averaging 16.3 on this tank, miles per gallon. And right now you can see what it's showing. But yeah, we're going through the mountains and it's all trucks here on the right lane. Yeah, these little mountains or whatever it is, you guys are no joke. Apparently we're about to go through a tunnel in a second, which looks like we're gonna go right through the actual mountain. But yeah, we're able to just putt along here. Again, like $2,000, and we're obviously going through mountains and stuff. Pretty cool. Little EcoDiesel's holding strong. Going right through a mountain right now. So we just finished going up a big hill. Look at all these runaway truck ramps over here. We're going down this huge mountain. 35 speed limit for big trucks. So it's pretty crazy. I didn't know there was gonna be big mountains going through North Carolina, but here we are. Okay, so I'm just stopping for fuel, you guys, but this thing is seriously impressive. So we went through all those mountains, all that stuff. We averaged 16.7 miles per gallon. So with me keeping my foot out of it and, you know, not trying to maintain the speed limit, you know, not trying to, you know, absolutely maintain our speed up hills, I got 16.7 on this tank. I still have 63 miles left on this tank, and we have gone 344 miles so far. So essentially I'm getting over 400 miles to the tank with this huge heavy trailer behind me, which is nuts.
Next up, I just want to go over these numbers with you guys if you're not familiar. So here's the EcoDiesel engine. It produces 420 foot-pounds of torque at 2,000 RPM. If you compare this to the other alternative, the 5.7 Hemi, the 5.7 Hemi only makes 400 foot-pounds of torque, so 20 foot-pounds less, but it makes it at 4,000 RPM, so double the RPM, meaning you have to rev the engine of your 5.7 Hemi twice the amount to get a little bit less torque out of it. So this makes this truck tow great. Like I said, it just sits around 2,000 RPM, and that's where its peak torque is. So it likes to be happy sitting around there towing, which I loved. It worked well, and it got good fuel mileage for towing. Last but not least, you might be wondering if you're new to this channel, you know, why does this truck look all color matched and the truck that I showed you guys earlier was not? So it's the same truck. It's a Laramie truck. I just didn't like the chrome on it, so we actually on this channel changed over everything to color match. We changed the front bumper, the grille, the rear bumper, and we deleted all the chrome as well. So if you like the look, check out some of the other videos on the channel where we go over some of that stuff. Also, as far as oil changes, I've been doing them every 5,000 miles with Rotella synthetic oil. That's the upgraded recommended oil from Mopar, actually, is the Rotella. And I've just been changing it sooner. You could probably get more mileage out of it if you wanted to, but honestly, it's not worth it in my opinion. I'd rather just change it sooner and have the peace of mind that I'm not gonna have any issues going forward. Like I said, probably could go further than 5,000 miles, but for the savings that I'm getting, I'm not worried whatsoever about the extra added cost. But if you guys want to see where I save on oil and the filter and check out other videos on this channel, check them out. I'll link them down below. Give this video a thumbs up. We'll see you guys on the next video.